This is our camp spot at Nthakeni Bush River Camp. We arrived quite late last night in the dark at like 7:30 p.m. Set up everything with a tent. Woke up to the river.
How's it, guys? Welcome back to Our Untamed Journey.
On this episode, we're in the Kruger for a whole week. First 2 nights staying at Nthakeni Bush and River Camp, which we're here right now. And then tomorrow night we head off to the Kruger through Pafuri Gate. My first time in the north, so very excited. And we're staying at Punda Maria Camp for our first night.
Hope you guys enjoy it. That's Zimbabwe, and then that's Mozambique.
Okay. Welcome to Crook's Corner.
Oh, come on. Rivers. So just a closer look at our campsite and also our setup that we used for this trip to the Kruger. So we went again with our rooftop tent and then try to keep it as simple as possible with the rest of our equipment and the things we brought with. We had our cooler, our fridge, and then our drawers, just with all the essentials that we needed. And then with our kitchenette on the side. We had an awesome view of the river here from the Mutale campsite. The campsite also had its own ablution block and a shared kitchen area that was only shared with one other campsite. We then also had our own fire pit. So we just left Nthakeni this morning. What an awesome little campsite. I think Britt and I highly recommend it to anyone coming up this way. But yeah, we're now back in the Kruger and we're heading off down to Punda Maria.
Yeah, yesterday we just took a drive to the park and we went to Crook's Corner, stopped at Pafuri picnic spot. Yeah, it was very beautiful. It was our first time heading that way, and yeah, quite surprised by how much game we saw elephants, saw buffalo, lots of inyala, kudu, zebra, giraffe, and yeah, some nice birds as well. But yeah, keen to see what we're going to see today.
Let's get it.
So we've checked in at Punda Maria Camp, and now we're going on an afternoon game drive.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit today. Mostly just the usual game that we see, some cool birds. But yeah, hopefully we get lucky this afternoon.
Let's see what we can find.
So yesterday we took a drive around Punda Maria. We did that Mahoney loop. Probably one of the nicest roads I've ever driven in Kruger. Really, like, the scenery was unmatched. We saw a few things, nothing really special, but yeah, I enjoyed it regardless.
Yeah, and then this morning we left early, making our way down to Shingwedzi, where we're going to stay for 2 nights, just traveling on the dirt road on the S56. And yeah, keen to see what we can find.
cool. So yesterday we went for a bit of an afternoon drive, just a quick one, and sat at the Nthakeni Bush River for a while. Saw the usual stuff, saw some tesserae, which was quite cool. And yeah, we're now on our morning drive.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much today. We've seen like some big elephants, seen some ground hornbill. But yeah, just going back to the hide now to sit and eat lunch as we wait for check-in. Yeah, I'm keen for afternoon drive, and then we've got a long drive tomorrow all the way down to Letaba. But yeah, still very nice to be here in Shingwedzi. After this massive downpour, we went back to camp to check in, and then we went on an afternoon drive in search of a cheetah, and we found her. Much on our morning drive. When we went to the hide to Nthakeni Bush, we did see a roan antelope, which is very cool to see, just one running through. And then on our afternoon drive we got very lucky and we saw a cheetah, which is my first time ever seeing a cheetah in the Kruger, so that was very, very cool. Yeah, we waited around with her quite a while. She was like calling a lot and we couldn't see her, but other people had seen her, so we waited and waited, and eventually we saw her. She crossed the road a couple of times. But yeah, very grateful to have seen a cheetah.
Yeah, super stoked. Yeah, we're blessed with that cheetah sighting. Yeah, taking in every little small thing, and we'll see what tomorrow holds.
Yeah, tomorrow we've got quite the drive, like I said before, all the way down to Letaba, but yeah, keen for the adventure. And that concludes part 1 of our video. Watch out for part 2, which will be coming soon.